Good morning. Who came here to graduate today? Hopefully the people in the front. So my name's Mike Ciosi. I'm the president here at Rowan College of Burlington County, and this is an awesome time of year. So we're thrilled that there's so many people here to take part in today's celebration. So I want to welcome you to our annual graduation ceremony, and we're glad that you could join us today. Our campus never looks better than at graduation when it's filled with our inspirational graduates, their proud and supportive friends and families, and those of us who are privileged to work with all of them. Today is the second of 3 ceremonies that we are having this week. We had liberal arts yesterday. Today is our science, technology, engineering, and mathematics division, and then later today we'll have our health sciences graduates. But you're the best looking group of them all, right? She's saying yeah. The guy over there told me he got here at 5:30 in the morning to secure a front row. So that's how dedicated this group is. As a reminder, today's ceremony is being live streamed on YouTube. I now know where the cameras are, so depending. Friends, family that are unable to join us today can watch live, and you'll be able to watch it later or whenever you want. Get those views up, right? Help us go viral. But it's on the college's website, rcbc.edu. So if you want to send a quick text to someone, they can watch in real time. So before we begin, let's honor our country and all of the brave men and women who have served to protect our freedoms. Please stand for the national anthem. Please remain standing, as I would like to take a moment of reflection to say a prayer, remember a loved one, or just appreciate your personal journey to this day. And I personally want to dedicate this moment of silence to a Baron, RCBC Baron, Julie Kelly. Thank you. You can be seated. So welcome to our graduates, our faculty members here to my right and scattered throughout, and all of our distinguished guests. I'm honored to be standing here today speaking to all of you on this momentous occasion. It's my pleasure to congratulate the graduating class of 2023 on this outstanding achievement. If we have air horns, just let me know when you're gonna fire them off. So do we have any today in the audience? No, okay, that's cool. Today marks a significant milestone in your lives, one that you will always remember. You have put in countless hours of hard work, studying, and dedication to reach this moment. You should be proud of yourselves and celebrate this accomplishment with your loved ones. At this time of year, I actually have a lot in common with you. Today is the easy part. Hard work is done. Your nails are done, your hair is done, your outfits you're already wearing, whatever you're wearing. Finals are done. I'm wearing a cap and gown just like you. I think I look great in this, right, Lay? Where's Lay? There she is. So the difference is all the hard work for me was done by somebody else. You guys did the hard work, so congratulations. I want to thank a few folks that make this day run so seamlessly. So you'll see our public safety officers keeping everything moving. AV that's filming us live. Student Life, where you picked up your caps and gowns and all that fun stuff. Marketing, print shop, facilities. I'm sure I'm going to forget somebody, so text me if I forget you, and I'll make sure to include you in the third session, I promise. And the folks in my office, Colleen, Ashley, Jeannie, and of course Lay, right? MVP. As you move forward, remember that education is a lifelong journey. Never stop learning, and strive to expand your knowledge and skills. Your education is the foundation for your future success, and it's up to you to make the most of it. Now, I know what you're thinking. Enough with all this serious talk. Where are the dad jokes? So, without further ado, and I got slammed on the ones from yesterday, so you're getting 2 fresh ones that aren't even in the script, okay? These are hot off the presses. So, you might need to edit this, who's ever recording. But here's the wonderful part of my comments. Do you know why there are no cosmetology graduates in the audience today? Thank you. Because they have to take their makeup exams. Okay. Is that better? Okay. Well, we also don't have a cosmetology program, so that. And do you know why graduation ceremonies are so immature? We can't get through them without name calling. Is that better? Okay. They were better than yesterday, but I don't know that that's saying much. Okay, in all seriousness, graduates, the world needs people like you. People who are willing to work hard, persevere through challenges, and make a positive impact on society. So go out there and show the world what you're made of. As you sit here today, ready to take the next steps in your journey, and actually as I was preparing over the last couple weeks, I kept coming back to a Bob Dylan song. How many of you guys know who Bob Dylan is? Okay, good. So I don't feel that old. But particularly the song, My Back Pages. So the chorus goes on, you know, I was so much older then, I'm younger than that now. And I think it's a sentiment that speaks to the transformative power of education and the way it can shift our perspective and change us in ways that we never thought possible. You've worked hard to get to this point, and I know it hasn't been easy. But as you move forward, don't forget the lessons that you've learned here at RCBC. My pathway led by confusion boats, mutiny from stern to bow. That was a lyric that resonated with me a lot when I was sitting in your seat and a lot over the last couple of years. But know that whatever challenges you've traversed to be here today, we all grow and evolve as we gain knowledge and experience. And I would love to give you a complete dissertation on how a 60-year-old song is relevant to today's ceremony, but would have to be here for like 4 more hours, so nobody wants that, right? No, she's shaking her head no. So, since we live in an on-demand, instant gratification world, I'll jump to the summary. It's a reminder that education is not just about learning facts and figures, but about understanding the world around us and the way in which we can make it a better place. When you leave RCBC, do not be content to accept the status quo. Do not be afraid to challenge systems and structures that hold us back. And remember, I was so much older then, I'm younger than that now. Embrace the knowledge that you've gained here. Let it inspire you to be the change that you wish to see in the world. Congratulations, graduates. The future is yours. So before we introduce our featured speakers today, I want to show my appreciation for a few special guests, both seated behind me and to my left. I think it makes sense to appreciate taking a moment to reflect because we've all been through a lot to get to this point. We've all had different starting points and different destinations, but the one thing that we share in our journey is that they've all intersected at RCBC. We exist to transform. It serves as a transport. RCBC serves as a transport, a bridge to a better life, whether that's a career, a 4-year college, self-employment, or just the personal satisfaction of learning. Crossing that bridge is not always as simple as one foot in front of the other. We've had competing priorities that make it difficult to stay on course, such as balancing a career, a family, or keeping yourself healthy. So, we have our President's Award winner and one of the speakers today, Sarah Heil. So I'm just going to blow through the names and then we'll clap for everybody really loud, right? Is that cool? Okay. We have our keynote speaker, Professor Crystal Bourne, many of who you had for a math class or two, right? We have from the Burlington County Commissioner's Office, Commissioner Daniel O'Connell. I have a couple of trustees from the RCBC Board of Trustees. We have Board Chair Dr. Anthony Wright. We have Trustee Dorian Morgan. We have Trustee Raymond Marini. We have Trustee Mickey Quinn. We have Trustee Gino Pasqualone. And we have Trustee Kevin Brown. Did I get everybody? Okay. I'm coming back to you. We also have from the Foundation Board, Rhonda Feld. I have the Senior Vice President at RCBC and Provost, Dr. David Spang. I have the Vice President for Enrollment Management and Student Success, Dr. Karen Archambault. And we have the Dean of the STEM Division, Dr. Adem Tete. And to my left, we have some additional VIPs. We have from one of our on-site partners, Wilmington University, Erin DeMarco, who's the Senior Vice President and Chief Operating Officer. A couple folks from the New Jersey Council of County Colleges. We have Vita Shamsi-Dean, who's the Director of Innovative and Technology Strategy and Workforce Partnerships. We have Lauren Purnell, who's also an RCBC alum, let me say, who's the project manager. And we have Jessica Britt, who's the project manager for outreach. I also have two more trustees, Lorraine Hatcher and Gina Reed. And I have three members of my cabinet, Kevin Kerfoot, CFO, Nicole Tavares, CAO, and Dr. Martin Hoffman, CIO. Let's give all those folks a round of applause. We also have Councilwoman Carol Murphy, too, right? Is she here? I thought I saw her. I'm sorry, Assemblywoman Carol Murphy. But back to the folks in front of me, our graduates. Your degree is going to certify that you possess knowledge and mastery of skills. Earning that degree is a testament to your character and work ethic. It's a badge of honor that you can proudly show to the world as proof that you're career-ready, life-tested, and one tough Baron. The fact that you chose the #1 community college in New Jersey proves that you were already smarter than most. As you move forward, remember where you came from and the others who follow in your path. Be generous with your time and experience, mentor future RCBC Barons, and employ them when you're in a position to hire. I do have one specific request for our graduates. We already know that RCBC exceeds just about every benchmark in terms of transfer and graduation. What we don't know is how many of you are walking into better careers because of the education that you received at RCBC. Earlier this year, we launched the First Destination Survey to learn how we are impacting graduates' careers. How many of you have done the First Destination Survey? A lot of hands. If you have not, you're in luck, because on the back of the program, there's a QR code. So my ask of you, my last ask of you, at least today, is to scan that QR code and complete that survey. That's going to help us understand where you're going next, whether that's work, transfer, etc. So it's on the back of the book. Everybody that picked up a book has the QR code, so there's no reason to not scan it. Family members in the back, if your graduate has not yet secured a job, the survey will put them on the radar of us for special outreach from the career counselors here at RCBC. Speaking as a parent, please give your graduates a nudge. Speaking as a parent, please give them another nudge, just in case it takes more than one. So next up, we're going to hear from a very impressive Baron. So it's hard to describe Sarah Heil in a few lines. Her resume includes a broad range of activities that reflect her passions and desire to make the world healthier for both herself and others. As someone who has suffered with mental health issues, Sarah has researched neurotoxins and plans to launch a business creating healthy products from beeswax. Her first colony is actually arrived this month. This would be the second business that she has, as she already runs a custom art business. She has an impressive day job working as a one-on-one aide for autism in the Bordentown School District, and she volunteers at the county animal shelter. She's writing a book, landscapes, rides horses, dances, and is an ambassador for a direct car racing group. So you're probably wondering, how did she schedule classes around all of these activities? She took only online classes. Her accomplishments are more remarkable when considering that her childhood was not carefree and happy. It included divorce, frequent moves, drug abuse from family members, and sexual assault. truly remarkable that Sarah is here. It's unbelievable that she has thrived, and it's beyond commendable that she looks to inspire others to use the pain in their lives as a force for positive change. Please welcome President's Award winner, Sarah Heil.
Good morning, class of 2023, and congratulations. You all should be very proud of the hard work that brought you to this moment. Before I begin, I would like to congratulate Madeline Armstrong, our valedictorian, and Taylor Fritz, our other President Award winner. I am honored to have this opportunity to speak to you all today. Honestly, if you were to tell me a few years ago that one day I would be standing here among the top 3 of my class, I would not have believed you. I stand before you today with a 4.0 GPA, a President's Award winner, and a variety of honors cords draped around my neck. But I assure you, these achievements bear weight. I did not have an easy life. Statistically, my psychology textbooks would describe some of my experiences as a person who is at high risk of dropping out of school, developing disorders, substance and alcohol abuse, crime, and suicide. From a psychological perspective, I am a high risk for failure. I did not have the opportunity to have a normal childhood. Instead, I was included in adult problems at a young age, which exposed me to an intense amount of fear. I was surrounded by family that had extreme drug addiction and alcohol abuse. It was difficult living in a constant worry of one of my loved ones ending up dead or feeling like I had to tiptoe around them when they were not sober. When I was 8 years old, my parents separated and then divorced, and my grandfather was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. I learned quickly that my life would be full of hurdles and chaos. With my parents divorced, my mom and I could no longer afford to live in our house, leaving us with no other choice but to sell my childhood home and move into an apartment. When I was 12, my grandfather's cancer caught up to him. I will never be able to erase the image of my grandfather gasping between each breath, skin and bone, in diapers, or the stench of a dying body that stained the air. On July 27, 2012, I sat in the living room next to him, watching as he took his last breath. With my grandmother now alone in an empty house and my mother and I running out of money, we had to move for a second time. 2 years later, my grandmother became ill and we had to move again. We sold a house, but the offer we put on a townhome fell through and now we had nowhere to live. With no other choice, we moved into a hotel, which would become my 4th home for the next 3 months. Out of all the loss, grieving, instability, trauma, and pain, nothing could prepare me for what I endured when I was 16. In my freshman year of high school, I entered a relationship where I was mentally and emotionally abused. I was 16 when my high school boyfriend sexually assaulted me. I kept what happened to me secret for 2 months, out of fear that he would hurt himself if I said anything. It took me 3 years to get him out of my life. The pain ate away at me until I was nothing more than a ghost. I no longer recognized myself and I hated the body I was in. Out of everything I had gone through, nothing could prepare me for the death of the person I was. I became so depressed, lying in my bed hours at night, crying myself to sleep, which turned into insomnia. My nightmares were so bad I was afraid to sleep at all. I would wake up exhausted, barely functioning, paranoid that he would hurt me. I practically ran to the school bus and looked behind me when I walked. I was dragging myself into school, fighting panic attacks, and trying to stay awake. The bell would make me jump out of my seat, causing the room to laugh and stare, and when I went home, I wasn't hungry. I was now living only to survive. I hated looking in the mirror because I saw no light behind my eyes. I felt dead, and that's probably because a part of me was. My entire high school experience was built on paranoia and trauma. At a time in my life when I was already at my lowest, I separated from my entire high school friend group, which led me to eat my lunches in the art room just so I wouldn't be alone. I needed something to make me push on and distract me from the mental agony. I turned to art. I used my lunches in the art room to work on my art projects until I somehow built a goal that would become the first step out of my darkness. I decided to open up a business during my senior year of high school, Heil Custom Art LLC, where I devoted my time to making and selling commissioned artwork. Throughout my journey, I moved 2 more times, leading me to 6 homes over 7 years. I experienced sexual harassment in multiple workplaces and plenty of other hurdles, trauma, and obstacles that I had to get through. As you can see, my past wasn't easy, and college wasn't in my plans. But my depression ate at me, and I had a realization that I needed to do more. I needed to find a way to make my pain worth it. It wasn't until about a year out of high school that it finally hit me. I knew what I needed to do. I wanted to help people who have suffered as I have, which led me to pursue a psychology degree. I was skeptical if I would even get into college. My grades were good in school, but not on standardized testing. I struggled with math and numbers. I underestimated my abilities, believing that I was not smart. I had quite a few people in my life who doubted my intelligence and made it very clear. I heard it so much over the years that I believed them too. I remember thinking, if I got in, I would be happy to pass with a C. I got accepted into RCBC very quickly, and the excitement began to take over me as well as the worry. I decided to challenge myself. I wanted to push myself beyond my means and try to get a 4.0 GPA. It was a dream that I didn't think I would achieve, but to my surprise, I did. I pushed myself each semester, taking up tutoring when needed, until I eventually accumulated 6 semesters of maintaining a 4.0 GPA. It took me 3 years of having perfect grades to finally start to feel smart. It took me 3 years of scrubbing away others' words and my own to see my own potential. Now, why would it take that long of receiving high grades to feel smart? It took me so long to see my worth because I spent years feeling worthless. Besides the trauma that ate at me each day, I had to battle a laundry list of disorders that changed my brain, preventing me from functioning without distress. It seems the psychology statistics got one thing right about me. I have an extremely high risk for disorders. I have OCD tendencies, anxiety, depression, complex post-traumatic stress disorder, a distorted body image, tics, and fibromyalgia. Complex PTSD is just how it sounds, complex. It's PTSD amplified. When triggered, causing sudden unbearable waves of emotions that often prevent me from functioning. I never know when any of this will hit or when my anxiety or depression wants to tag along. But one constant is my OCD tendencies, which creates a continuous loop and fixation on behaviors or thoughts, and the stress from everything increases my tics, which I try to suppress in public. Worrying and obsessing has found its way to my body image, where I had created some very unhealthy habits. The trauma and disorders have destroyed my sleep so much that I can't remember the last time I did not have a nightmare. As if the chronic mental agony wasn't enough, my body decided it wanted to give me fibromyalgia, another obstacle to fight through, trying to stay awake when the waves of exhaustion hit, and fighting through aches and pains that come on suddenly. I thought myself to be broken, unfixable, and weak. I believed I had so much wrong with me that I hid my disorders. I had enough of the chaos, so I began to pour my soul into my artwork, determined to make meaning out of the madness that consumed my life. I was fueled by my pain, ready to make a change. That change started when I created this painting next to me, a self-portrait portraying vulnerability and resilience. I told my story through this very painting, ready to show others that pain is perspective. I had 2 options: let my pain sink me, leading me nowhere but further down, or take the coal and turn it into a diamond, let it fuel me, leading to success. I now wear my scars like jewelry, and when people ask me how much it cost, I say everything. These scars cost me a normal childhood, a normal life, and a normal brain. To me, they are priceless, and I now love them like they are my diamonds. Yes, I struggle, but the struggles got me here, to this moment, on this stage. Pain is perspective, as is everything in life. To me, it is a lesson, something that I need to see, or a test that I know I will pass. I share my story with you today, full of vulnerability, so you can see it's possible. It's possible to live through trauma and battle mental disorders, to having a full-time job as a paraprofessional, work a side job landscaping, and own a business, all while going to school full-time, getting a 4.0 GPA, and making it to the top 3 of the graduating class. It's possible to chase anything that your heart desires. I have taken up volunteering, equestrian, pageantry, writing, art, cooking, baking, calisthenics, beekeeping, research, and much more. I have paved the path where I will be creating a second business from my bees, and a third from an invention that I plan on patenting very soon. You can do it all. You are the only person in your way from having the life that you want. Think out of the box that you can find yourself in and push yourself beyond the limits that you thought you had. Life's twists and turns have brought me to where I am now, but I have learned throughout my time that things must break before you can build. And boy, does the breaking hurt. But if you see it through long enough, you can knock down a foundation that was not strong enough to hold your empire. As an artist, I see things from a different perspective. I now see my pain, my trauma, and my disorders no longer as my weakness, but as my strength. They are the reason for my success, contrary to what I've always believed. I promise you, I will change the world, and I will keep my promise, no matter how long it takes. I recently came across dangerous toxins that poison our water, food, air, and environment, neurotoxins. These toxins wreak havoc on all of our lives and put every single one of us at risk for detrimental health problems. My research has led me to completely change my life, abandoning everything I thought I once knew about the way we live. My first step in achieving this goal starts today. Please take out your phones. If you have Facebook, go to Psychology Sarah and follow the page. You can go with me through my journey, learn from my research on neurotoxins and what you can do in your homes to reduce your risk of exposure. Watch the progress with my bees, and more. Thank you all for this wonderful opportunity. Before we part, I challenge you to chase the dream you thought to be unobtainable. Open your horizon to new opportunities and not give up on your vision. Congratulations, class of 2023, and may success follow wherever your journey takes you.
Thank you, Sarah. Okay. The faculty here at RCBC develop strong bonds with their students. Today's keynote speaker started forging bonds with students when she was still a student herself. Crystal Bourne came to RCBC after her children were grown. Her goal was a personal pursuit to learn Spanish. She quickly, however, fell in love with education and was enrolled in a degree program. Her love for math was apparent, and students quickly turned to her to explain the concepts that they were learning in class. A natural leader and teacher, Crystal organized study groups and helped her classmates. Pretty soon, she realized her calling as an educator, and when she had completed her master's degree, landed a job at RCBC, where she continues to this day teaching students math and touching countless lives. In celebration of the teacher-student relationship, we've initiated, inviting previous recipients of Professor of the Year to be a keynote speaker. So I'm proud to introduce Professor Bourne, who truly has walked the same path as her students.
Thank you, President COC. Good morning, everyone. Graduates, I stand here today to tell you how proud I am of you and all that you have accomplished to complete this part of your journey. I would also like to take the time to thank the parents, grandparents, husbands, wives, brothers, sisters, friends, children, and the faculty, because I know all too well that nobody gets here on their own. As President COC said in his intro, I too was an RCBC student, and I fondly remember how proud I was of myself as all I had accomplished as I sat in my seat on graduation day. When I started at RCBC, I was an adult in my 40s with 3 children, and I didn't know if I was still capable of learning the way I could when I was younger. My intention at the time was not to become a full-time math instructor. It was actually to become a casual conversational Spanish speaker. So today, I'm going to tell you a little about my unexpected journey in hopes that you can see your possible future is endless. I was born and raised in New York City. I married at a very young age, and because of my husband's job, we moved around a lot. By the time that my oldest son was 10, we had lived in 4 different states. So by the time we finally moved to Burlington County, we were ready to settle down. But rather than start a career, I decided that I was going to raise my family first. My children at the time were in 1st and 5th grades, and trying to get them to divulge any information to me about school was futile. So I decided that I was going to be active in their school and their classrooms just so I could know what was going on. So for 17 years, I was an active member in the middle and high school PTA. Many of those years were spent as an executive board member, and 2, I was president. Throughout my time with the PTA, I made a lot of contacts and got to know many of the students. My children, they were very active in sports, and they knew that education had to be the priority. Homework always needed to be done before they were able to participate in their sports practice. As my older son got into high school, the subjects got harder, especially the math. It was difficult to maintain that balance of extracurricular activity and work. He would sit at our table and try to do homework, but he would be frustrated because he didn't understand that day's lesson. So to help him, I would read his textbook to learn the material so that I could reteach the topics to him. Somewhere along the way, reteaching my son became reteaching him and a lot of his friends. One comment that I often heard at that table was, "How come my teacher can't make it this easy?" I didn't think much of it at the time. I just knew that it didn't have to be that difficult. So I just continued to teach the math in the simplest way that I knew I could. A few years later, I decided to take a Spanish class at RCBC, only because my husband had been taking Spanish classes and I wanted to be able to converse with him in Spanish. It had been a long time since I was a student, and I was nervous because I had still all of my other responsibilities. I was a mother, a wife, a student, a community service volunteer, and I was committed to be the best that I could be in each of those areas. I was quickly reminded, however, that being in a classroom and absorbing all of that information was exhilarating. The first class gave me confidence to know that I could have academic success as an adult, but I was afraid of jumping in completely. So the next semester, I took 2 classes, and in the following semester, 3 classes. My continued success helped verify that I was ready. I was going to get my degree in mathematics and become a math teacher. I figured that by the time my youngest son was ready to go to college, I would be ready to start my career. I was doing well in school, but a whole new thought came to me. How was I supposed to afford paying for college for myself when my middle son was about to graduate from high school and start college himself? So it was at this time that I started thinking, I'm going to need to earn a scholarship. So when my middle son finally graduated from high school, he too came to RCBC to take classes. And at one point, we were in the very same math course together. The instructor enjoyed us so much because we would have friendly competitions to see who was going to score the better test grades. Needless to say, I usually won. I was thoroughly enjoying my time as a student, and as usual, I got involved in campus life. I became a member of Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society, and I worked as a student tutor. As time moved on, the school leaders in my community learned that I was in school to become a teacher, and they were very happy about the direction that I had decided to take. They were familiar with my work ethic and my commitment to students from working with me for so many years. They finally asked me to apply for a teaching position upon the completion of my degree. I felt good about this. I had a purpose and a direction. I continued my studies at RCBC, and I graduated with highest honors. I was notified just before graduation that I was being awarded a full scholarship to Rutgers University in Camden. My first semester there, I took 4 math classes. That was the best semester ever, y'all. And I was happy to know that the RCBC instructors had prepared me for what had come next. However, I started asking myself a similar question to what was asked of me previously. Why do they have to make it this hard? It doesn't need to be this difficult. There were too many times in math classes where I felt like the material was being delivered in a way that made the understanding more difficult than it needed to be. This is when I decided that I would better serve students at the college level than at the high school level. After all, who couldn't appreciate math taught in a way that was easier to understand? I received my bachelor's degree in 2007 and my master's degree in 2009, both from Rutgers University in Camden. This is the same year that my youngest son graduated from high school. And as I was sitting in his college freshman orientation, I received a call from RCBC offering me a position as a full-time math instructor. Being hired by the college that gave me such a solid foundation was a sign that I was on track to do what I was meant to do. For the past 14 years here at RCBC, I have tried to teach math in a way that would make it easier to understand. And when teaching calculus, that is not always so easy. Today, I hope that my journey can help you as you continue on your journey. So here are some things that I want you to take away from what I've said this morning. First, whether you are 14, 21, 35, or 70, don't let someone else's timeline define your success. Your success today is your success. Second, sometimes you find your calling, but sometimes your calling finds you. Some of you have already found your calling, but for the rest of you, be open to letting your calling find you. Be willing to adapt to new situations, and don't be afraid to take that detour onto your unexpected journey. And third, your hard work will prove to be worth all the sacrifices that you have been through. This is not only about the work that you have done while here at RCBC, but also the work that you will do as you move forward. As Joe Lombardi once said, the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. In closing, I want you to know that by graduating today, you have put yourself in place to accomplish your dreams and so much more. Don't be afraid to go after what you want. RCBC has given you the tools to be successful. So when things get tough, remember to believe in yourself and keep moving forward. Have a plan, but don't be afraid to take that step onto your unexpected journey, because you never know where it's going to lead you. You are RCBC strong, and there are no barriers. You can do anything. Y para los estudiantes que hablan español, felicitaciones y buena suerte. And to the entire class of 2023, congratulations and good luck.
Killed it. So I'm glad she learned some Spanish after all that, right? And I was afraid for a minute when she was doing the 15-year-old, 21-year-old. I thought there was going to be a math problem for all of us to solve. But Crystal, thank you for those inspirational words and sharing your insight with our graduates. So I do have one more thing for you, though. So on behalf of Rowan College of Burlington County, I am honored to award you your second RCBC degree. So come join me for a second, because your first degree was actually in liberal arts and sciences because of your original transfer goals. So I trust that you will appreciate now having an honorary degree in your passion subject of mathematics.
I did good. Thank you so much.
All right. So that's the first degree we gave out. So now it's going to start rolling. You know, you can sense it coming. So please welcome the chair of the RCBC Board of Trustees, Dr. Anthony Wright, who will certify the class of 2023 for their degrees. Dr. Wright.
Thank you, President COC. On behalf of the Board of Trustees of Rowan College at Burlington County, please accept our congratulations to all of the graduates and their families on this outstanding achievement. We're all so very proud of you and your accomplishments. Thank you for trusting RCBC to meet your educational goals. We wish you the best of luck in your next step, whether you enter the workforce, transfer to a four-year college, or follow your dream down another path. By the authority vested in me by the New Jersey Secretary of Higher Education, I ceremonially conferred these degrees upon the candidates for graduation who have completed all of their degree requirements according to the college's academic and registration officials. President COC, you may call the candidates forward.
Thank you, Dr. Wright. I will ask the ushers to escort our candidates to the stage. Graduates, as your names are called, please pick up a diploma shell to my left and then stand for a designated spot for a photo to memorialize your achievement. And we have two amazing readers that I see. So I see Ann Edwards and I see Dr. Anita Rudman.
Sarah Heil, highest honors. Adam Marigny, highest honors, Associate of Applied Science, Culinary. Maria Palin, Culinary, Associate of Applied Science. Grace McGowan, Associate of Science, Chemistry, highest honors. Yenal Mendoza, Associate of Applied Science, Mechanical Engineering Technology. Ishmael Small, Associates, highest honors. Glenn Vosterichian, Associate's degree, Engineering. highest honors. Christopher Zielinski, Associate of Science, Engineering, and a certificate. Colette Gaeta, Associate of Science, Liberal Arts and Science, highest honors. Soraya Kaplan, Associate of Applied Science, Fashion, honors. Kayla Lambert, Associate of Science, or Associate of Applied Science, Fashion Design. Uva Kwao Mensa, Associate of Science, Associate of Applied Science, Fashion. Faith Evelyn, certificate. Sabrina Hubert, Associate of Science, Liberal Arts and Science. Caitlin Severance, Associate of Science, Liberal Arts and Science, honors. Nasa Reyes, Associate of Science, Liberal Arts and Science, high honors. Isabella Verdugo Hernandez, Associate of Science, Biology. Madison Scott, Associate of Science, Hospitality. Nashaya Vincent, certificate, cooking and baking, honors. Ayana Harlan, Associate of Science, Liberal Arts and Science, high honors. Cooking and baking. Diana Walker, certificate, cooking and baking, highest honors. Isaiah Warner, Associate of Applied Science, Cybersecurity, honors.
Let's go! Let's go, Isaiah! Let's go, Isaiah!
Lamont Pompey Jr., Associate of Applied Science, Cybersecurity, honors. Tavon Peterson Evans, Associate of Applied Science, Cybersecurity, honors. Nicholas Jester, Associate of Applied Science, Cybersecurity. Haley Gavora, Associate of Science, Liberal Arts and Science, highest honors. Kayla Knight, Associate of Science, Chemistry. Madison Coesa, Associate of Science, Liberal Arts and Science. Ariana David, Associate of Applied Science, Electronics Engineering Technology. Geisia Aravana, Associate of Applied Science, Computers with honors. Zeneba Madura, Associate of Applied Science, Cybersecurity. Maruk Faridi, Associate of Science, Mathematics, highest honors. Mackenzie Phillips, Associate of Applied Science, Fashion Design. Molly Connolly, Associate of Applied Science, Cybersecurity, highest honors. Godwin Carnaby, Associate of Applied Science, Cybersecurity. Brandon Callahan, Associate of Applied Science, Cybersecurity, honors. Tony Costa, Associate of Applied Science, Cybersecurity, honors. Louise Hill, Associate of Science, Liberal Arts and Science, highest honors. Maya Jones, Associate of Applied Science, Management Information Systems. Glennis Harrington, Associate of Science, Liberal Arts and Science. Marion Nance Akins, Associate of Science, Hospitality, and a certificate and honors. Nicholas Goki, Associate of Science, Mathematics, highest honors. Antonella Diaz Madrid, Associate of Science, Liberal Arts and Science. Carly E. Jones, Associate of Science, Liberal Arts and Science, highest honors. Caitlin Tyler, Associate of Science, Liberal Arts and Science. Carmen Giordano, Associate of Applied Science, Graphic Design, highest honors. Justin Shupakevich, Associate of Applied Science, Electronic Engineering Technology, and a certificate. Shonda V. Harris, Associate of Applied Science, Culinary. Gregory Pleasant Jr., Associate of Applied Science, Management Information Systems. Divine E. Nagan, Associate of Applied Science, Cybersecurity. Satnam S. Benapal, Associate of Science, Computer Science. Reese Dos Santos, Associate of Science, Computer Science, and a certificate. Hamilton Scudder, Associate of Science, Geoscience. Diana G. Cornicelli, Associate of Applied Science, Graphic Design. Brittany N. Ryan, Associate of Science, Biology. Deborah F. Cox, Associate of Science, Liberal Arts and Science. Emilio Cardenas, Associate of Science, Biology, and a certificate. Lark O'Brien, Associate of Science, Liberal Arts and Science. Pietra Mariela Arajun de Oliveira, Associate of Science, Computer Science, highest honors. Una Clark Moser, Associate of Science, Liberal Arts and Science, highest honors. Nicole Hughes, Associate of Science, Biology, and a certificate. Sophie Dennis, Associate of Science, Liberal Arts and Science, and a certificate. Walter O'Donnell, Associate of Applied Science, Technical Studies. Brandon Lupa, Associate of Applied Science, Mechanical Engineering Technology. Jacob Goki, Associate of Science, Biology, highest honors. Linda Wynn, Associate of Science, Chemistry. Carly Armstrong, Associate of Applied Science, Computer Networking and Technology, highest honors. Adem Osei Tutu, Associate of Science, Biology. Jose Solis Roblero, Associate of Applied Science, Graphic Design. Alexander V. Linear, Associate of Science, Liberal Arts and Science, honors. Matthew D. Robbins, Associate of Applied Science, Cybersecurity, high honors. Ryan Vanella, Associate of Applied Science, Graphic Design. Kenya R. Adolph, Associate of Science, Computer Science, high honors. Carly A. McCaffrey, Associate of Science, Health Science. Wade A. Hammett, Associate of Science, Environmental Science. Connor Darlington, Associate of Science, Environmental Science, and a certificate, high honors. Samuel Gabriel, Associate of Applied Science, Mechanical Engineering Technology. Addison Lee, Associate of Applied Science, Mechanical Engineering Technology, honors. Kiera A. Strickland, Associate of Science, Liberal Arts and Science, high honors. Kiara G. Rivera, Associate of Science, Biology. Brianna S. Rivera, Associate of Applied Science, Culinary. Sean Gibson, Associate of Science, Computing Informatics, honors. Carol B. Krupinski, Associate of Science, Engineering. Giovanni R. Zavian, Associate of Science, Liberal Arts and Science. Leonardo Aragon Fierro, Associate of Science, Mechanical Engineering Technology. Dona Musa, Associate of Science, Fashion. Lisa Perez, Associate of Applied Science, Fashion Design. Melita Y. Moore, Associate of Science, Liberal Arts and Science.
Okay, I was going to wait until she made it off the stage. Nobody tripped. Congratulations. So graduates, you may now move your tassels from your right to your left. Before we conclude, I want to applaud the faculty and staff that have worked tirelessly to prepare the next generation of leaders. Let's applaud, let's give it up. I want to hear it for all the family and friends in the back and the folks that are watching that have supported our graduates every step of their long journey. And of course, one final round of applause to our graduates. Congratulations on your accomplishments. As we conclude today's ceremony, I ask that our guests remain standing at your seats while our platform guests exit and lead our faculty, staff, and graduates out of the quad. Congratulations, class of 2023.